Aloha, church. It's good to have Dr. Joe Grana with us again for this last interview. And this video is coming out Monday, and that means tomorrow is a voting day. And this is a very polarized political season we're in. And I think wherever you fall on the spectrum of politics, everyone agrees with that. So at least there's one thing we agree on. It's very polarized. So we have Dr. Joe Grana, who's going to answer everything you need to know about everything. You like how I do that? No. So with Revelation, the book of Revelation was, it was subversive to the Roman Empire. It was going against the Roman Empire, against Nero / Domitian. How does that play into politics today, 2,000 years later almost, of the United States of America? And how should we look at politics in general?
Well, I think in general, we need to pray for the leaders. We need to give honor to whom honor is due. Paul says we need to pay our taxes. Don't care to do that, but it's part of the process. So we need to be the best citizens that we possibly can be. We need to be law-abiding and following principles of the law of the land, unless those laws very directly oppose scriptural mandates. So I think that's the general principle. But I think as a Christian, we have a higher allegiance than to any political party, even to any country. I love America. I've lived there my whole life. It's a wonderful place. But the church is not limited to America. Church is throughout the world. A lot more Christians live in other parts of the world than live in America. In fact, some countries are even reaching more people for Christ than we are.
Wow.
It's believed that I've heard estimates, and we don't know it because the church is basically underground in China, but 130 to 180 million Christians in China. So, and then Africa as a continent has surpassed North America as a continent in regard to the number of Christians, and South America is growing too. So the gospel is going forth. And I think it's a matter of keeping things in perspective, that the church is multinational. The church, his number of primary allegiance is to Jesus and to the church, and not to anybody else. Those become secondary. They become important, and we need to be good citizens. But if we lived in England, we ought to be good citizens in England. If we lived in Israel, Kenya, you name the country, we need to be the best that we can. But it's because we're followers of Christ, and we're submitting to Him.
Yeah, what an encouraging word that our allegiance is first to Jesus, first to this kingdom. It's the Lord's Prayer, right?
Yeah. Like, in your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And, everybody, depending on what side you're on, you're concerned as to who's going to be the president. Obviously, probably half of us are going to be upset and half of us are going to be happy, depending, because it's pretty well split. I don't know exactly how it's going to pan out. So we're going to be in that position, but Jesus is still going to be on his throne no matter who is president. And that should be good enough for us. And we may be disappointed with the outcome, but our mission is to fulfill the mission of Christ. And people need Christ. They need Jesus more than anything. And that it's an eternal difference that's being made, not just a temporary difference. Though that's important. I'm not downplaying that. I'm just saying there's a higher goal and a higher perspective.
And what a great reminder that perspective of heaven, the perspective of eternity with the Lord, and also the perspective of bringing heaven to earth here. How, and I guess sometimes we think so like massive, and sometimes it's good to think in like with our small community and our friends, how we're bringing heaven to earth with our friends. And I think that
Yeah,
will have influence.
it does. And so I think as you say that, Brian, is Jesus said, if you give a cup of water in my name, you know, it's those kind acts. Mother Teresa said, you know, do small things in a great way. So to show encouragement to somebody, to listen to them truly, to care for them, to give them a meal, to give them a hug if you can. You know, I'm talking about in appropriate situations and such. But to do kindness, uh, but to do it because you're a follower of Jesus and because all people have dignity and worth, and not to look down upon anyone because of their race or because of their economics or because of their political views, uh, that all people have value, even if they're very different than us in many different ways.
I love that. I think we could leave it at that. And Joe, I just want to say, I mean, again, we could continue going on and on about this, but I think what a great reminder that may the Lord's will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and may
Yes.
our lives reflect that in everything that we do, and may we constantly seek the Lord in all the decisions that we make. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being a part of this. However, we could interview
Thank
you,
you, Brian.
catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. So good to be with you and good to be with the folks of the church. Hope we'll get back physically one of these days.
I hope sooner than later. Be praying that this pandemic is over with and you can fly here.
That'd be great.
Oh, that would be amazing. Joe, thank you so much.
Thank you. Love you. Take good care. Keep up the great work. God bless.